Welcome to the training walk around for the Forest River Sunseeker. Just to give you a little heads up on the keys, we have a key that opens the lock on the door lower, a lock on the door upper. We've got a truck chassis key for the Ford engine. We've got a fob that'll lock the front and side passenger and driver door as well. So on the door itself, we've got a screen door that opens up. You can close that screen door, put the bug protector forward, and when you're done, you latch it, and that's how you operate the door. First compartment here is your trash. You can see it's a normal sized trash bin. You can throw your trash in from the kitchen counter and then take it out, keep everything on the outside. When you lock your compartments, you're going to want to lock the latch, and then there's a combination as well. And the combination is 257. We have a storage compartment for your things here. We have another storage compartment for your things here. And remember, if you've got valuables in there, lock them up. We've got the access for the propane as well as a spare set of keys for the truck. Over here we've got more storage and access to the water, which you shouldn't need to access, but we also have some ropes here to tie things down at your campsite if you need to. This is where we keep a couple of chairs. There's a table, a couple of different table options that you can use, some outdoor propane for your grill, and then again this is a door that you would want to lock. And here you've got a 4-spot bike rack, and all you do is take the pin out, put the pin back in, and now you've got your 4-position bike rack. And your tire goes in each side. This piece right here flips up. Loosen that up, push it forward, it flips up, and then these are adjustable to fit your bike on each side. 4 different bikes, 4 different hold downs. You have a ladder to access the roof if you need to. There shouldn't be anything you need to get up on the roof for. You got to be very careful, but it is access to your appliances on the top. Here you've got another storage container, a couple more chairs, access or slide through storage if you have real long items to bring along. We'll go through this in a minute, but this is where we keep the electrical hookups, the water hookups, and the sewage dump. But we'll do that in a video at the end of this training. This is your outside shower, hot and cold running water. This is where you fill up the gas. Regular gas goes in the tank. This is where we keep our supplies. There's an extra water hose some extra cleaning supplies, bags, cups, different things that you're going to need inside the RV. This is what we call our garage. There's an extra hose for the sewage dump, our windshield wiper fluid, oils, things like that. This is the generator door access. You shouldn't have to get anything through this door, but this is where we access the generator panel if we need to for service. For the truck, we've got a hood latch right here, and that will loosen the hood. And then if you need to, you can access the oils here, the washer fluid refill is here. Other than that, everything's been kept up to date from a maintenance standpoint. You shouldn't have to do anything here unless you run out of washer fluid. And that is the exterior training on the Forest River. All right, we're here for the favorite part of our camping experience, is hooking up all your mechanicals and the sewage dump procedure. So when you get to the campsite to set up, you're going to pull out your electrical and your water items here. You want to pull out your electrical cord and your water. For your electrical, you take one end of the cord, and it can only go in one way. And then you tighten it by screwing it on. You plug your camper, should remain plugged into the surge protector. And then this goes into your campground electrical box. If you need to plug in to a 20 amp or 50 amp circuit, you can downsize with this connector and plug it in like that. When you're done at the campground, of course, just take that off and move it aside. For the water hose, you want a nice clean blue hose. That's the one we use. We hook that up to the RV right here. Screw that in. When you hook it up to the campground spigot and turn the spigot on at the campground, you're going to get plenty of water pressure to push water through the RV when you're camping. You can also take this at a spigot, and on the other side of the RV, you've got a spot, and I'll show you that in a second. Right here, you can just put the hose in there, and that'll gravity fill the water tank. When the water tank is full, it'll overflow. If you see water coming out, you know it's full. There's also a gauge on the inside of the RV. If you want to use our filter, you hook this up to the campground spigot first, and then the hose to the other end, and that'll filter your water from the campground. Everything just stores real nice on the right side here. All right, you see I put gloves on. You're going to want to put gloves on before you run your sewage. So you just take this out. If you're going to be at a campground, you just take this cap off here. Put this up like that, turn it. You put this end here into the sewer inlet, which is going to be the hole in the ground at your campsite if you've got full service, or when you exit the campground, they'll have a dump station for you. You can dump there. So you get that all set up, and then in here, the way you do this is you pull the black handle first. That's going to dump all your toilet holding tank material. When that's done flowing, you close it and open up your gray water. And the gray water open will help flush out the tube. And then when that's done flowing, you push the gray valve back in and wait for it to stop dripping. Once it stops dripping, you take this off and put the cap back on. Just like that. When you're at the campground, you take this hose here, and you can hook this one to your campground spigot and put water into this tube. Just lay it on the ground like this, fill it up. When it's full, just walk this up and empty out your hose, and that'll kind of clean it and rinse it. Do that twice and you should be good. Take your cap, screw that back in, put your hose back in. Try to keep these down closer to the bottom so they don't drip on anything. Once you're done with that, get your disinfectant wipes out, take your gloves off and dispose of them. Wipe your hands down and you're good to go. And that is our discharge. You also have one feature on here. If you're going to be going to another station after your dump, you can hook your spigot up to this and it'll send water through your black water tank. It sends a wand out and rinses out the inside of the black water tank. Be sure after this that you go in and put a deodorizer in the toilet, and that would complete your process of getting ready to head back home. All right, we're at the arrival part. So we've driven to our campsite. We're going to park our RV and get it set up for camping. You're going to use the arrival checklist, which we keep up in the visor. And it's preferable to have a partner do it. They can read you your instructions, and you can do the activity as a driver, just to make sure everything gets done. But we're going to park on a level spot. We're going to make sure that the slide outs won't hit an obstruction. So remember, we got slide outs going out the passenger side rear bedroom. We've got the slide out coming out for the living room as well. So you need a good 3 feet on each side of the RV so those slide outs won't hit anything. So once you do that, you turn your headlights off, you turn your engine off, and then you come over and you put your levelers down. And the way we do that is we hit the power button on here, and then we hit the auto level here. You'll see the light come on. You'll see the lights blinking, so the computer in the leveler knows where to send the levelers. So you're going to wait and do that while those go down. And then we're going to check the slide outs to make sure that there's no obstructions. And where you might get into obstructions is we keep the ladder back here. You want to make sure the bottom of the ladder is inside that bracket so that it won't hit the ladder on the way out. Make sure that nothing fell back there. All right. Once you get that done, come out to the electrical panel here, and you're going to see the slide out and in. The bottom rocker is the out. You hold that button down. That's going to move your slide out. You're going to watch and listen for obstructions. So if you hear something funny or you see something funny in the slide, you're going to want to wait until it's all done. You're going to hear a little click, and that's when you should stop. Once you get that slide out, we come back to the bedroom. You got a little light here. We're going to put the slide out here, and same thing. The bottom is the out, the top is the in. So you're going to watch, you're going to listen, make sure it's not hanging up on anything. And then you'll hear it when it comes to a stop and you turn it off. We did go over the sewer hookup. So at that point, when you're at the campground, you're going to go out and do your sewer hookup. You're going to unscrew the white access cover, take the cap off the sewer discharge. You're going to hook up the sewer hose and the elbows, getting it into the sewer inlet. If you're at the campground, the note on here is to open up the gray valve so that when your water comes in, the water can go out unlimited at the campsite, but you want to keep the black water tank closed while you're at the campground so you don't let the deodorizer go out of your holding tank. So we want to leave that in there while you're camping. When you're done camping, on your departure checklist, it'll say to empty that black water. You hook up your water like we showed in the outside walk around. Make sure that you're hooked up to the city water connection. That'll give you pressure inside the RV. There is a cable hookup right above the water inlet so that you can hook that. And that completes your arrival checklist, and you're all ready to camp. All right, we're ready for the inside tour now that we have the RV parked and opened up, ready for camping. I can show you how everything works, giving you a quick walk around. So we've got a ladder here that hooks in right here. And when that is down, the couch bed folding out will not interfere with the ladder, so kiddos can get up here. You do have a safety strap here, which hooks in behind, and then one on the other side, and that'll keep the kiddos safe inside. On the top bed, you can see there's plenty of room. It's a full queen size bed for your sheets. You have little compartments here with a power outlet here for your electronics. You have like storage on each side plus a couple little cup holders. You've got the shades that'll come open, and you've got a screen window that'll open up, give a little air ventilation. And then when you're done with this, you just put this inside the brackets on the bottom, and then clip it in from the top, just like that. When you're driving, if you don't need the space up there while you're traveling, you can just flip that up and you've got a little more headroom right here. Going around the RV, you've got a nice shoe rack spot for 12 shoes, a couple umbrellas, fire extinguisher here. You've got your main TV system, which will play on this TV. It'll also play the speakers for the radio or the CD on the outside. You can play DVDs. There's a remote here for this system, and there's a remote here for the TV. Where you're camped at, you can find local channels, or you can hook up your device. It is Bluetooth, so you can operate it that way. In here we've got extra cleaning procedures, so when you bring your RV back, these are the things that you should recognize and do so that you don't forget anything and you get all the cleaning done. There's an extra arrival checklist right here, and just the forms that we used in the training, forms that we use in the security deposit, so you can kind of see how we operate the business from a paperwork standpoint. Right up here is a little bulletin board with some troubleshooting tips, whether you're having electrical or water issues. Usually it's something simple. You can just kind of look up here and you can put your little notes up here for your own personal use. We also have the code for the garbage lock. At code 257 will open up that door. Here you've got just the manuals and extra cable, just all the manuals for the RV. There's a little storage up here as well. If you just pull the TV up, you've got the toaster here. You've got some storage up here as well as an HDMI if you want to hook up a Blu-ray or something to this TV. Paper towel here with extra paper towel up there. In here you've got all your plates. Things will move around when you're traveling, so we just do the best you can with things wiggling around. We put some things in here to reduce the sound, but little leftover containers up here, lots of cups, lots of plates. In here you've got your silverware. We're sending you out pretty well stocked. You got towels, dish towels, and hand towels. If you use those, just leave them behind in the RV and we'll take care of washing those when you get back. And just a couple extra drawers for your things here. We keep some of the saran wraps, things like that, coffee filters for the coffee maker, a napkin holder. So just things that you'll use. There's hand wash soap in there. This is where we keep the coffee maker, and we actually have a little bin for doing your drying your dishes if you want to keep that in there. Here we've got some cooking utensils for the bigger stuff. You've got, this is your grill and waffle maker and griddle, electric, so you can use this inside or out, just it has to be plugged in. Here we've got some more cooking things, strainer for spaghetti, just a variety of different things. You've got a convection microwave, so that'll do some of your cooking. You can make pizza in it, chicken, bread, and then you've got a stovetop. The stovetop, you just bring it over like that, bring it up, and then you turn it on like this to the light position, and turn it on, and make sure that your propane is on, and if the sparker doesn't work, you've got a little thing here. So those will light up real good. You got nice, can put them on low for simmering. Just a real nice little stovetop. Here you've got some extra storage. This is where we keep some of our cleaning supplies or Swiffer things for the floor. We've got a Swiffer sweeper. There's extra napkins, some cleaning spray in here, extra paper towels. You've got a nice size freezer and a nice size refrigerator. And the way you operate that, just turn it on. Turns on auto is what you want. You can do it on electric or gas, but you want it on auto so that it keeps it cool while you're traveling, and then when you plug in to the campground, it'll switch to electric to use a little bit of propane. Got a nice pantry in here. We've got some supplies in here, but you can see just a lot of room for your kitchen belongings. Make sure that's locked and closed up. Coming around, you've got an independent shower. You can also bring the bathroom door around to give some privacy, and there's a little magnetic catch if you want some privacy. And the shower, you can see, is a nice stand-up shower. I'm about 5'8", just to give you a little sense of how high it is. And then you've got your shower. Back here we do have another privacy wall. So this is just a curtain that will shut and give you privacy from the bedroom, as well as an area for the bathroom if you've got someone using that. And then when you're done with this, just lock it here. You've got your slide out, which we went over in the setup arrival, and you've got a little remote for the TV right here. TV also has storage behind it. Just take this little latch down, you've got storage back there, and you've got an HDMI here. Or you can find your local channels. Or you can Bluetooth or log into your Netflix account on there. The windows all have shades that can stay down part way or go up, and you can see all the shades around here. The bed comes with a cover, but of course you got to supply your own linens. It does have a couple pillows if you want to use your own pillowcases. You got independent reading lights here. You've got a little phone holder over on that side of the bed, as well as here if you want to use it for that. We use it for the remote. And then for storage in the bedroom, we've got lots of storage. So it's empty here, it's lit, which is nice, but you can put all of your wardrobe things. These just come empty to partition out for different things. Got a nice cabinet here, same way. And then you got nice drawers here. Here is your control for your heat and AC. It's in the off position now, so you can run the fan, but unless you have the air conditioner on by being plugged in or plugged in at the campground or the generator, having the generator on, you can't turn the cool on, but you can turn the fan on if you want. And then these are the lights for the bedroom. For the bathroom, got a nice light here. You've got a fan, exhaust fan here that you can turn on. You've got the toilet paper holder here. You've got Dixie cups and soap and toothbrush holders here. You've got a nice little power outlet there. Got a hair dryer, some extra towels, disinfectant wipes. We keep the first aid kit in here. Back here we keep some cleaning supplies. We keep the deodorizer for the toilet. So after you dump the black water tank, when you leave, you have to remember to put one of these in. It is on the departure checklist to do that as well. Got some extra latex gloves in here. You've got some spray here along with some extra soap, and you've got a toilet bowl cleaner here with disposable cleaning heads, so you can clean up after yourself. And that is the bathroom. Coming around here, we've got the main control panel. And you can see here we've got, if we want to turn the electric water heater on at the campground and use their electric, that's the one you want to turn on. And then for the gas, we could turn on the gas heat, but that'll use your propane. So you don't really need to do that unless you're boondocking, like not hooked up anywhere. The water pump on will pressurize your tanks when you're not hooked up to the sewer or hooked up to the spigot at the campground. So if you don't have a spigot you're hooked up to, you have no pressure, this water pump will give you pressure. This Arctic pack you don't need unless it's in the winter. That'll heat the black water tank so it doesn't freeze. You got the living room light, kitchen light, and then you got your tank monitor. So you've got your gray water should be empty when you return it, but it'll go up to two-thirds to full as you're traveling, so telling you if you need to empty it. The black water, the fresh water tank, the battery, how much power you have in the battery. Here you've got a rear light if you want to shine a light behind the RV at night. And then here's your slide out that we went through on the arrival, and that will pull it in on the departure. To start the generator, you hold this rocker switch down until the light pops, and then you hold it down until it turns over. Once your generator's on, then you can use your microwave, you can use your hair dryers, you can use your air conditioner in the main cabin. Turn it off, you just hold it down till it shuts off. Moving around, you've got storage all the way throughout. So normally people put their groceries and things here, games. We've got a little drying rack up there, just empty containers. We've got some games here. This is where we keep the tool boxes, so any tools that you might need for things during the trip, we've got those up here. Got a couple phone holders right here, and you've got 4 spots where you can hook in your phones for charging. So that's kind of your charging station. And then you've got your dinette here. If we're going to set this dinette up into a bed, we take the tabletop off, take the base off, we lift the cushions up a little bit to get this in there. We take this out right here, and we take this cushion, which we normally keep above the cab over bed, put that in there, and you've got a nice big bed. If you need it for tall people, you can take these out and set these aside, and now you've got a really nice tall area for adults if you want. Once you're done with that, put your pieces back. Take a table, back end up, and you're good to go. Underneath here we have a hand vac. We've got some extra deodorizer. There's a charger for the hand vac and the swisher thing here with the poles that you can extend out for wiping down the floors. You've got a nice dustpan and broom back here. Got room for storage for your things here. And then we come to the sofa sleeper. So for this one, what you do is take that off. You lift the bottom here, front. Bring this up. And there's a lever underneath. So you bring that forward like that. You bring the back down. And then you bring the cushion, set it in there, and you've got a very comfortable bed. 2 adults, you got to walk around. When the ladder's down, you've got room for that. So set it back, go like that, put that up. Bring your lever back. Like that. Sets in nice. Cushion back. You got a nice lounger there. All right, we're ready for departure. We had a great time camping. We're fully hooked up. Now we need to take everything down to get ready for departure. So again, use your buddy system. Have somebody read these and helping you so you don't forget everything. On the exterior, we want to pack up the site, including the awning. So to do that, the awning buttons right here. To extend it, we would have done that, and that'll extend it. But when we retract it, we bring it back in. We make it sure it sets in secured to the brackets, and then you're ready for departure. When it's out and you're set up, you've got an awning light here. You've got a porch light here. This is your battery disconnect, so you want to make sure that is on the on position. If one of the kiddos turns it to off, nothing in the camper will work. So check that as a little troubleshooting guide. So you pack up your awning. You just kind of check the water tank level. If the water needs to be filled, we already talked about how to fill that. You can either fill that from the campground spigot, or you can disconnect that and do a gravity fill on the passenger side of the RV. You disconnect the water hose and the filter if you used it from the campsite spigot, and you store that. You store your electrical cord, so you got to unplug that from the outside of the RV and put that back in. Don't forget the surge protector. You're going to go through the sewer dump, and again, like we did on the initial walkthrough, we put on our latex gloves. We make sure the white access cover cap is off. We hook up the sewer hose elbows to the RV and the other end into the campsite spigot for the departure. Now we just take all that down after you've dumped and make sure everything's put away. And we talked about making sure when you disconnect the sewer hose from the camper that you fill that with water a couple of times to rinse it out with clear water before you put it away. For the interior, we're just going to go around and kind of pick things up that might slide off the counter. You can see here's your trash can. That make sure that gets emptied if it's full. Make sure there's nothing that's going to slide. We come here, we already used the stove. If you use the stove, you want to make sure that that cools down before you put the glass back over it. But you're going to want to make sure this is closed. You're going to want to make sure all your doors are closed. So not like that, but pushed in, hear them clip. Same thing on the fridge. You don't want to leave that open or it could bounce when you're traveling. So make sure that clips closed. And all around, we're just going to kind of look around, make sure that everything's picked up. If you're traveling and you got drinks, we've got cup holders here and here, so make sure that those are secure. We're going to put the levelers up. So again, we're going to come back down here. We're going to turn the power on, and we're going to hit the retract button. So those are going to all pull up. Then we're going to go over and we're going to pull the slide outs in. So again, that's right here. I'm going to pull that in, and you're going to watch and you're going to listen. Make sure there's nothing behind here. Make sure nothing's binding. Make sure that it's not making any grinding sounds. You're going to bring it all the way in and listen for the final right there, and then take your hand off. And then we're going to go to the living room slide. And again, you're going to want to make sure that nothing's on the floor, otherwise it'll go over. You might lose things. Make sure that the ladder is pushed tight against the wall, and then you're going to bring your slide out in. You're going to hold that down, and you're going to watch, and you're going to listen. Any binding or any funny noise, stop and try to figure out what it is. You're going to want to push this broom. When you hear that clicking, you stop. All right. We're going to, for traveling, we're going to turn the water pump on. So when we're traveling, we're not hooked up, we have no pressure to the water, we're going to turn that button on. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to use the sinks when you're traveling, and the bathroom when you're traveling. All right, so we're going to leave that, and then we're going to come back here. We're going to close the door, nice and secure. We're going to take the parking brake off just by pulling this knob here. We're going to make sure our mirrors are set up for the driver, and that is your departure instructions. Go through them one by one, make sure you don't miss anything, and then put that away. And now we're ready to go.